Andrew, I'm making deep fried butter today. What do you think of that?
That's disgusting.
That's a bit rude.
There's a food truck in America somewhere that actually sells deep fried butter.
Yeah, and I'm a DIY goddess, so I'm gonna make it now! I got my recipe from the Fun Foods YouTube channel, and I wrote it down on a cue card to signify the fact that I could be studying instead of doing this. Firstly, I'm gonna unwrap my butter and cut it into an appropriately sized stick to put another stick inside. I'm adding a cup of all-purpose flour to my metal mixing bowl. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of sugar, white caster sugar, into that bowl as well. Got to get all the dry ingredients in first. That's 2 teaspoons of baking soda, or baking powder, or tartar. I don't know. A beaten egg. We love an egg. The recipe also called for cinnamon, but I hate cinnamon, so I left her out. Here's some vegetable oil. Now, I thought it was a bit early in the game to eyeball, so I actually got out a tablespoon and I put 2 in. Now we have to add the milk. Now it asked for 1 cup of milk, but I only had a 1/4 cup measurement, so I'm going to add 4 of those because 4 quarters makes up 1 whole. That's how fractions work. So basically I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't care. So I drink milk, I'll eat butter, I'll eat cheese, I'll eat cheesecake. I'll suffer, but I'll enjoy it. The funny thing about this milk is that it expires on 4/20, which is the 20th of April here for us Australians. I'll laze it. I've actually never done a drug in my life, so. Here's some salt. It called for 1 single teaspoon, but we all know who I am, so a tablespoon it is. The recipe wanted some honey, but that looks rank, so no. I'm looking for my whisk, which I can't find because I used it yesterday to mix up an entire bathtub full of milk powder and water and swam in it. Yep. And now we're starting to mix the batter up. This is very exciting. Okay, so the batter's looking a bit skinny, so we want a real thick bit up in here. I'm gonna add some more flour. The guy in the video is like, add a tablespoon at a time, but it's time to eyeball, I think. So we've got our batter looking nice and thick now. I tried to add the honey, it just wouldn't come out. I just guess it wasn't in the cards. Because I don't know what a good procedure is, I just started putting the oil on the stove to heat up. So it's 100% vegetable oil on the stove. I'm going to pour the batter into the cup. That's all fun. Here we go. I'm clearly no physics student. Look at me. I don't understand the concept of displacement. Look at that drip. So I bring it over to the stove, and this is kind of where it all goes wrong. Because my oil wasn't hot enough, I didn't exactly fry the batter quickly enough to seal the butter and prevent the oil from actually touching the butter and melting it all away. So that's what happened. And my oil was also too shallow, and it's a whole mess, honestly. And at one point I think I start shaking the stick because I'm like, that's such a good idea. No, it wasn't. Look, there it is. Yep. Do you see all the remnants? Do you see all the batter just floating off the stick of butter? Oh my god. Oh my god. My butter. I ended up taking the butter stick just straight out because, you know, it wasn't working. So I drained the remaining batter, gave it a bit of time in the sieve, gave it a good pat for the good work it did, despite the chef that was coordinating the project. Here I'm trying to like remove as much oil as I can from the batter, which is so ironic considering the fact that this recipe is literally deep frying butter. I've got some CSR soft icing mixture out, which isn't icing sugar, but we'll work with it, and I got batter on it, because of course I did. I don't know what was going through my mind at this point, because this recipe is so not worth opening a brand new bag of icing sugar for, but I did. So here we go. A bit more, because we really need this to be more unhealthy, don't we? Because I have absolutely no respect for my body or my health, I ate it, and it was really good. It was like really good. So good, in fact, that I actually deep fried some more batter after that and ate it. It's just like a donut, I guess.